everybody. It's Connie. It's Wednesday at 2 and I'm live. And I'm showing you today something that is probably breaking rules, but I want to recreate this layout. Remember how we talked about how some of the album retreat layouts had some really cool techniques? And, you know, when they created the album retreat from Close to My Heart a long time ago, one of the things that they did was they made it for consultants only, and they really encouraged people to teach customers the techniques of a page. And then when they decided to open it up to everybody, it became almost kind of weird to, like, you don't really recreate an album retreat because so many people paid for it. Hi, Heather. I see you on today. I'm glad. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. It is weird. It changes like every week. I'm not kidding. Anyway, so this layout right here, I pulled it out because I have some pictures I want to put on it. They're going to be perfect for here. But I decided, you know, I kind of took a look at it and I was like, man, you know, there are some really cool techniques on this. And this was a album retreat page. And one of the techniques that they used was using die cuts. And you remember the decorative shapes that we all like fought over, battled for, tried to get because they kept selling out. This came in this particular album retreat. So a lot of you who did the album retreat got this as part of that retreat. But I just wanted to show you that if you do have it now and you want to really recreate some of the artwork, you know, this is the giant flower. And this flower right here is made up of this little petal. And then there's this little flower right here is made up of the hearts, like 4 hearts put together. And then another one of those with the little petal. And then down here at the bottom is the square shape. I am not going to use these dies today, but I just wanted to show you that, you know, it wouldn't be hard to recreate this artwork because really you're just cutting out a bunch of shapes and putting them together with some greenery. And the other thing about this that I'm not going to do today is they made this an interactive page. So this picture flips open. And here's half of that little square, and then the other half is down here. And when you pull on this, it pops up your photo, and you can have another photo behind it. So that was kind of a cool little thing. It pops up, you have a photo here, photo here, photo here. It was just kind of a fun little thing that they did. But I have issues with these super interactive elements. I think in order to make this one work, you would have to cut your page protector here, and this would be open. And then normally I would have this covered in a page protector, but this one, you know, you have to basically cut this entire shape out so that your whole interactive element will work. So yeah, I'm going to use it. I've got photos for it. Yes. Now, the part I want to recreate though is, at first I was like, I want these colors because these are not colors I use. The green, orange, yellow, and a peachy, this is desert sand. I do not put these colors together, especially with Peacock or Journey. I just don't, you know, I would never in a million put these colors together on my own. And so I was kind of looking at it, and then I was kind of looking at the zinnia papers from Stampin' Up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, those are like the same color scheme. It's very close. You substitute that journey for purple and you got it. So I just for kicks, hold on, let me take a drink. I was like, well, I just want to see what it looks like using the zinnia paper, because you know we have gobs of zinnia paper, right? Since I bought that pack, I have been using it like crazy, and yes, I'm sorry. But basically, I used the same kind of lime border, right? And then I just used the zinnia papers. It's hard to get this in my camera, but I just want you to kind of see. And then I was like, I just sort of put things together. I didn't do any sponging, stenciling, nothing like that. But I was kind of looking at like some of those flowers that I cut. And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like we could use that, since they're kind of a watercolor wash look from those, you know, from those papers, it would be pretty easy to, I don't know. And look at like that butterfly that was all done in those reds. Look how well that matches. I can just put that on the page. I could put a title there. I can decorate, you know, it had flowers, had florals. So maybe I put, you know, some florals down too. I was just like, this works. This is interesting. I really could, like, I don't know, recreate this whole thing using this zinnia and my butterflies that I cut out. Anyway, so I'm thinking about this because it's very interesting if you wanted to recreate that page. I love how it looks. Absolutely love the colors. And it kind of doesn't use the crazy, outrageous paper that is in here. Like these zinnia papers are a little over the top to use in a big batch. So the only crazy paper I used was this one, and I only used it as a little tiny flag up there. So, you know, it just it uses this paper in a calmer way. Okay, so let me get that out of the way because I want to use the Enjoy the Ride papers. I already have a couple of layouts in these colors now. I'm good with that. I'm ready to use my cool Enjoy the Ride close to my heart paper because, you know, we love the Enjoy the Ride. So to start with, hi Stephanie. I need a border, and basically it's a 1/2 inch border all around with white in the center. I think they used French vanilla, but I cut mine white. So I thought I'll make my background blue instead of green, and I gutted it. So just to get going with so I don't have all these extra pages, I'm just gonna attach this so I have like one big piece of paper and not this flimsy border. Now I'm gonna be doing some stuff to this border. I'm gonna do some stenciling. I want to do a little blending tool. So I don't want, you know, technically I should do it before I attach. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's okay. I'm going to do it like this just so I don't have so many pieces that I am trying to move around on my table. And I am using the dark side of Bluebird because it doesn't show very much. I like the boldness of it. It's very outdoorsy color. It's very summery. All right, I'm just trying to line this up even all around or pretty close, just so it's not obvious to anybody how crooked it is. All right, so now I have my 2 base pages, and I need to one of the things that I love about it is they used a stencil. It's like hexagon stencil, and then shading over the top of the stencil using ink. And I'm like, I could do that. I started looking through all my stencils, and you know, Close to My Heart has gobs of stencils, right? And so on the two, there's some of that on both pages. So we're going to do that on both pages. The one I chose to use is this. And I think this was from, was it Dreammaker? I think it was Dreammaker. And Dreammaker had like 4 stencils with it, like a 12 by 12 stencil. And I cut mine down because I didn't want to deal with such a large stencil, right? So basically, I'm going to put various leaves right here, and I want the stenciling done in a little darker so that I can blend over the background after I've done this part. Now, I like to stencil in little circles from the center of the leaf towards the outer leaf. And that way, when you lift it up, you have a little bit of shading on that. And, you know, I feel like this needs to be a bit darker. And I need to make sure I hit all of my edges, because I'm gonna blend over the whole background, and I really want to make sure that I get it. So, all right, I'm just gonna do another little leaf here. I have no idea. I have no plan for what I'm doing really, as far as the decorations go, like the embellishments and stuff. I just sort of started, I don't know, started pulling things out. Anyway, that Enjoy the Ride paper, have you guys been using it at all? I'm seriously, I have a little extra time Friday, and I'm seriously thinking about pulling that workshop out. There we go. And then the other part of this that they did was they just did a real soft blend all over the background. I thought about using yellow with this, because I do think that the yellow yellow stencil would have looked really nice with this, but since I found the leaves and I like the leaves, I'm going for it. All right. And I'm just blending it all over, and I'm a little sloppy. I'm using a little too much pressure, I think, in places, but that's okay. I'll cover up what I don't like. There's that one. So that's sort of page 1. Let's look at page 2. So on page 2, I have a little bit in the top and a little bit down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and use my stencil and I'm going to use the giant leaf again. Anyway, that scrapbooking workshop, I was going to do it today, And then I started looking at it, and I really do think I'm going to make some adjustments to it. And I've been playing around a little bit with this Enjoy the Ride paper, and I found that I kind of like this wood grain with it, with those papers. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. I'm surprised that I like that so much, but it like really pulls together some of those colors. And you know, I think the one thing about that Enjoy the Ride paper pack is that there's so much pattern, and it really screams, I need cardstock. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this down in a moment, and let me just, I got some ink on here, let me wipe that off. Okay, and then I'm just gonna real soft again, I'll try not to be so harsh this time, blend around here. And I'm gonna blend a little at the bottom. Where can you download the Enjoy the Ride workshop? I have it, and I can add it to the files on here. You know, the workshops for the Enjoy the Ride, for the Close to My Heart workshops, especially the ones that are you know, where they come all as a part, they're a little harder to, like, when you download them without all the parts and pieces. This is what it looks like. This is what you'll be downloading, the pieces for this, and what you can certainly use it, but it doesn't tell you all the cuts necessarily. Like, there are so many die cut pieces that come with it, so you have to fiddle with it a little bit, but they're nice layouts. My issue is I want a little calmer pattern here, and I thought about adding that wood grain to this mix a little bit. And then this one, you know, I don't love the green, so I think I'm going to fiddle with this a little bit. So it's going to take me a while to do that, which means I need some time, and that will be Friday. I think Friday. All right, so we have our 2 pages. This is what we're going for. So let's work on this page 1. And I cut some pieces out of the Enjoy the Ride paper. And one of the things that this page has is this bold pop of color right here. This Journey is a very bold color, and I was looking at the Enjoy the Ride papers, and I was like, I could go calm, I could go with a cardstock, like red or yellow or something, but I really love this floral paper, and I wanted to use it, and I think that is going to be my bold paper. Now this one measures 4.5 by 10. So by doing 4.5 by 10, that gives you the space for the 3x4 photos, or you could do, you know, a couple of 4x4s, or you could do 4x6 and something small at the bottom, like a journaling point or something like that. So that gives you space for that, and I really like it. The other thing that it has on both pages is this really cool technique right here. Hard to see on camera probably, but basically it's embossed, and they sanded the debossed side of this paper. So I want to do that really quick before I go any further, because it's going to mess up my table. And I like that pumpkin color that is a part of this pack. It's interesting they use it in such a soft way. It's just not that, it's not very bold, but I'm going to use it in a bolder direction here. Basically, what you do is you decide which side you want to show. Do you like the soft side? Do you like the dark side? I like the dark side. And so I'm going to do it facing up so that when I emboss, score it, I'm going to score it down, right? So normally you would make your line and you would sand this bumpy side, but I'm going to sand this side, and I think it'll show up better on the dark. So every 1/2 inch, I know you're probably like, wow, do that ahead of time. But this is, it doesn't take very long. And obviously this is also 10 inches long. And this one is 7.5 inches long. Now, it doesn't really matter how, wide your piece is, because the only part that really shows, it just pops out of the side. So I made mine like 1.5 inches, wide. Yeah, 1.5 inches. So if you wanted to recreate something like this, you're just using almost a scrap on the edge. It just has to be a long scrap on the edge. That's all the scoring that we're gonna do, so I'm gonna put that away. Now here's the part that is interesting, is that we're gonna sand. Did I get out my sanding stuff? No, I did not. Let's see. Okay, I have this really old sanding block that's stained from all the sanding I've done on it. And actually, let me grab a scratch paper too. Okay. I'm gonna do this because it's gonna still make a mess on my desk, but at least it's gonna be on, mostly on this paper. So you just basically wanna use something flat. And an emery board works great. You can use sandpaper, but the idea is not to gouge it. So there's that. Cool, right? Let's do both. Now, if you sand the other side, you get stripes, right? I don't want that side, I want this side. So it takes me a little bit longer to get the effect I want. And you remember, part of it is gonna tuck under anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect all over. My sanding block is now orange. Okay, put that away. All right, wipe that down, get rid of this, and just to get rid of that mess. I didn't have too much on there, but still. All right, now to prep these, I'm going to tear, and I want to tear towards me so that the white edge really shows. If you tear like away from you, you get this look, right? So you want that white edge and fairly straight, but a little jaggedy. Okay, now I can continue making my page. So let me lay this back out again. All right. So I know that I really like this paper, and I know I want the big orange under it, like that. I think that looks really cool. And then Let's see. I gotta find all my parts and pieces. The other thing that the layout has is up here at the top, there's just a jade green strip. Now, I think it's like 4 inches long. It looks 4 inches long. Yes. So, but I just cut a piece of paper that I am going to chop in half. How close am I? I'm close, whatever. The idea is to tuck it under or use it at the top here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that down there. It's approximately the same place, not quite, but close. So like that. And then I'm going to flip it over, cut that piece off, see if it'll work on the bottom. Yes, it will. Awesome. So, and then I'm going to do the bottom also. So, approximately the same place. Now, if you're, you know, worried that you're going to get it really off, you can line this up and scooch it so that it's lined up. If you're like me, it's close enough if it looks close enough. And then I have just a little bit of extra here. Not much, but enough to make it look crooked, so that's annoying. All right, so that part is done. And now we're ready to kind of build this portion right here. And so let me move it so everything is in camera. Yeah. I have these, like, not very much of this honey butter shows, and I do like the honey butter with this. So I just cut a couple of pieces that my plan is to tuck in here. And then this one at the bottom goes all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to do that first. Basically, what I could have done is taken a full strip and cut it. And I think the full strip would be around 11 inches. But I'm just going to put this like this. I'm going to line it up approximately the same place as what it is on the original layout. And then this one goes to the bottom all the way. And basically, you're just making it straight. Just as straight as you can. Oh, good. I'm eyeballing well today. Okay. And then we have these pieces that go on, but you want to save a little space at the top for a little flag, right? So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to lay this here. I'm going to lay however much I want showing. And then I'm just going to put this out where I like it. Okay. That's good. So I just have this banner piece and I just have to decide what I'm going to use there. I think there may be some stickers on the sticker sheet that'll look good there. So I'm not going to do that yet. And I'm not going to decorate yet because, again, I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do with that. Okay, so let's get page 2 in here. We have a very similar kind of look on this page. It's not a mirror of it, but it has a lot of the same kinds of things. So we have that little border piece up at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to start there. And it is approximately 1 inch in from the edge. And then cut that, and let me see if that will work. It's not quite to the edge, so I have some other ones that are about the right size, so I'll just grab one of those little scraps. And again, you can use your ruler to make it even. And we will trim that excess off. I really like that I use this pattern instead of the solid. I like it. Okay, so then I was like, you know, this needs the pop of color. And I thought, I'm gonna bring in that red, that rosy red. I just really like it. Now I could use the softer side or the bolder side. But since there's gonna be a big photo on it, I'm gonna use the bold portion of that. Now, again, this one has a lot of tucking things. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the right side and in the middle, so that I can mess around with, tucking things in, and I can always add more adhesive later. But it really does kind of stink to have too much adhesive on and have to cut everything. So again, here we are with the honey butter thing, and you can see it sticks out quite a bit because it goes high enough for this flag. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to use something that tall like that, but I do want the option, so I am going to put that in the way they show. So it is over here, and it's sticking out just a little bit because this orange thing kind of goes over it. And then there's like a little flag that covers all of that. So these harsh edges won't show, right? Okay. All right, let's tuck that in. Let's look how far we want. It actually shows a lot more on this side, so I'm going to pull it out a little. And at the bottom, you know what I didn't do at the bottom? They tore this bottom edge. I say they like I wasn't there. We, I don't know, let me get a hold of it. We want some white torn edge here at the bottom, so that'll work. It doesn't have to be totally perfect. Obviously, it's kind of made for it to look a little distressed, right? All right, and then we have this piece which they used at the bottom as a pull tab for the mechanism, but I do kind of like that there's a little bit of yellow down here. It kind of balances it. And so I'm debating on using another little bit down here, and I think I might. Let me cut this down. I don't think I need such a huge piece, but I think I do want a little bit. And I'm going to move it over so it looks like a continuation of that piece up there, where it just peaks. Okay, now everything is tucked that I think I'm going to tuck. And so I can put, you know, a little bit of glue under these parts that are not very well adhered. Okay. Glue that down. All right, that's basically my layout, right? So I'm gonna take these two pieces away. Let you see one more time. There's basically a title on the left with some flowers, a little rainbow, and on the right, there's another little mini title, some flowers, and a date thing at the bottom. So now I just have to decide what the heck I'm gonna do with this page. Now I have some photos that I really want to use with this. Oh, and then we have this little piece that I forgot to add. Now what they did, I forgot, let me show you. They used another very bold color, the bold color. Like they would have repeated rosy right here, but I did not. I didn't want more of that rosy right here. And so I could use the floral again, or I could flip it over and use the softer butterfly. And I kind of like this. I kind of like this green with it. And so I could do that. I could do a yellow color, but I think this is the way to go. I think I like it. I think I don't want more of that floral showing, especially since I cut out florals to decorate it with. And then basically this goes kind of down towards the bottom, just making like an even border on the side and the bottom. And this piece is 3.5 by 6 3/4. Why, I don't know, but that's what it is. So there we go. I really love how this looks. It's a really cool layout. I've got plenty. All my photos that I have for this layout are vertical. I have no horizontal photos. And I suppose I could cut some of them down into 4x4s, but that is hard to do. So one of the things I liked about this layout was I can put vertical, 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 vertical. You know, I can do this. I'll make this work. And the other thing is the photos I want to use are from Casey, Illinois, which some friends recently went there, and it reminded me, oh my gosh, we went there not very long ago and we have gobs of pictures. And in Casey, Illinois, southern, a little more south of us, they're known for all these gigantic things. They have like the world's largest items, the world's largest ruler, the largest pencil. And so I thought it was kind of funny if I said enjoying the little things. I thought that would be funny, but it's not the right color for my background. Do you see that? So it's a bummer. I could matte that multiple times with different colors, but it's just not perfect. It's not a great look. So I think this one is it. And I think that's going to be my, I could say love this day, but I have another plan for that one. And so I am a foam taper. You guys know I'm a foam taper. And you guys are going to cringe, but I found this acid-free fun foam. It's like kid craft foam. It's totally acid-free, so don't freak out. But sometimes when I want to use a big piece of foam tape, I use this instead. And it works to make things nice and flat. And I don't use up tons and tons of strips of tape. And so, yeah, I just found this on Amazon. It was like acid-free, which is awesome. I'd never buy the pre-adhesive kind because I don't trust the adhesive on kid craft items. I want my adhesive, I want it to be secure. And so I'm gonna make this upright, just like that. Now they did theirs up higher on the page, but I like how this looks, so there you go. I know, I can hear you all rolling your eyes like, oh my God, I can't believe she just did fun foam on a page. Okay, but there you go. Now the other thing that I wanted to look at is, you know, these little flag tabs. Oh yeah, see, that fun foam on cards is perfect because who cares if it's acid free? I mean, you're talking about something that is like, you know, people are going to throw in the garbage. I really kind of like that as a tab because it kind of adds some of the red and it gives me a place to write the date. And if I put my photo over it, this would tuck into the photo area. So that's an option. I have this blue plaid one. I have these, that any of those would work. But I think I like this one over here. I could use it over here, but it's red, you know, red with red. So I do think I'm gonna put this here, just like that. And I know it looks weird, but when I put my photo on there, let me just grab a photo. I have I've been playing with my selfie and printing some photos. This is not the photo I'm going to put on this page, but you can see like when I put my photo down, it'll just have the tab and a little peek of the red showing. And I definitely am going to map my photos with white for sure, because it's going to need that. Okay. Now, what else? Is there anything? How about over here? What am I going to do? I could do nothing but blue skies. These are outdoor pictures. I could put something like that right here. I kind of like that. And it covers up that harsh line. I feel like it still needs a little something right there, and maybe even that sun would go there. That would be cute. Let me see what that would look like. Will it show up? Oh yeah. All right, that works for me. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna use it. Okay, so there's that. And then the other thing that I did that I thought would be kind of fun is I just used the stamp set and I cut out gobs of flowers. So I cut out a whole bunch. I stamped them in these colors that coordinate, and I'm like, I'm just gonna decorate, right? I'm just gonna lay things out and see if I like them. So I have the bigger flowers in red and blue. So usually when I do flowers, I try to make a triangle of some kind of the color so that I don't have like, you know, like all the blue, all the red, you know what I mean? You do the same thing. And let's see. I like the blue down here. I'm just going to mess around a little bit. So I have also cut some in yellow. I need the cluster. I have also a lot of the greenery and this littler flower. There's a couple of smaller flowers in this that have like shooty sprigs, and these are more like, to me, these are like your cabbage rose style. And so we'll see how they turn out, where I put them. It's all random, so random, but I do like some of these together. Okay. Look at that, it just blends. It just looks like it goes there. All right, so if I do some of these and start putting in some sprigs, this is my opportunity to cover up some of the areas where I may not love the way I stenciled or something. You know, like if you have like here, I have just a little bit of a harsher line when I was using my blending brush. It just kind of like swirled or something. I could totally add a little something up there and hide it. You know what I mean? That's my opportunity to do that and make it look better. And I really like these little berries, and I kind of wasn't sure what color to do them. And so I looked at the actual floral paper, and the floral paper has these all in jade. They have them, this one's in jade. They have some in red, which is hard to find. They have some blue ones. I was like, okay, so greens and blues primarily, but I still kind of like the red berry idea. And so I have some red, I don't know. And I did some in blue. I don't know about that blue. It's a lot. I don't know. But there you go. I did a few of those. So all right. I'm liking how this looks. What do you guys think? I think the only thing I have left to do is to adhere things. If I was not live, I'd be like, I will be back as soon as I've adhered everything down. And I don't think you want me to watch me glue everything like crazy. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave these kind of sitting here. And then later I will adhere. So the last thing, I did leave some space for journaling. Now, I can either put a photo here, and then like if I put my photo here, I can journal down here at the bottom using like the journaling strips. You know, I like to journal on strips of paper and lay them out. Or I could journal just a little bit. I could do journaling here. I could do journaling up here. I could do a little journaling box below a 3x4 picture right here. And I think that's the best for me. That's probably what is going to work. And so that's probably what I'll do. The reason I'm talking about it now is because I want to put these gems on, and I don't want to cover up anywhere where I might write. Like, I don't want to put a bunch of gems if I might write in this corner. So I want to stick, I was going to say I want to stick with colors that coordinate, but all of them were used. So I could use any of them. The red, we have a nice triangle going here. The blue, we have a nice triangle going. The yellow is a triangle. The orange, we have one here, here, and here. I wish I had orange gems, because I would put some orange down here in the corner. So, let me see what I got flower-wise. I could go ahead and put an orange down here, and then I really do have kind of a triangle of all the colors going. I'll think about that, because that's a lot of flowers. Although I do like how it looks. If I use the green, that blends in. I think the red or the blue is the color to go with. I think the blue. I'm gonna go with blue. We'll see how it looks. I like to do a big dot and then a medium and a small together. Or I like to do a medium with a large and small. So I like to use all three sizes. I don't know. It's just, I like how it looks. So I'm going to do the big there. And then that. Wow. It's cool. And then Awesome. Awesome. And down in this corner, I don't think I'm going to put any. I thought about maybe putting a little of that rosy color down here. I don't know, it may look a little off since I don't have too much. I don't like that. Anyway, I'll fiddle with that a little bit. Anyway, so there you go. There's my page. And okay, let me bring in the original again. What they did to fill in that dead space up here, like, you know how I have some dead space here and here. Their stenciling went up just a smidgen higher than mine, not much. And then they have a stamp, the rainbow at the top of it. I'm gonna leave mine the way it is. I kind of like having some white space up there. And then they have a couple of stamps at the top and the bottom, kind of these random dot and like scallop stamps. I think this could use some stamping, especially over here. I don't know about using another word, but I do like how they did this on top. So I'm gonna grab something. I'm gonna grab something out of my stash. Give me just a moment. I have a lot of scrapbooking style stamps. I have, let's see. You know, I have a lot of texture-y types of stamps. Okay, let me just show you what I got. So I could do some words. You know, I love doing like 100% cute or happy, or, you know, I love doing some words. So that's a possibility. I have these kinds of sets that are like really generic, and these are very popular with Close to My Heart. There was a ton of them. And it's really nice to have things like just the little dots. Like that could be stamped over and over again on top of there. As a matter of fact, I love that idea. And, you know, just, these are just generic sets that have lots of little options. This is that doodled borders. A lot of you have the doodled borders. Maybe I'll use that. This one is the actual set we got from our album retreat. There's the hexagons and things. Here's the joy in the journey. Look at the arrows, or any of these little dot stripes, little circles, any of that would work, right? So let's see. To finish it off, I need a something. I need a something on here. So I could do the little dots. I could do the lines. The little arrows are nice. They have the little scallopy border. They have this little hatch mark kind of thing. I kind of like that. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a block and put that on there. Now, decisions about color. I think I'm going to do blue because it'll show the most. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So I have this, and I feel like I haven't used it for a while. I want to stamp it on something before I go too crazy with it. Make sure I get a good image out of it before I put it on my page that I essentially finished, right? That would be awful. Make sure I'm on a level, nice and even. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And I think I'm going to put one down here also. Nice. Okay. Now, they did a double layer of something, and I kind of like that idea. And so the double layer, they did like a little scallopy thing. The love, joy, happiness is awesome. I kind of like the polka dots. I like the scallop border. There's a little heart border. These little sparkles look kind of cool. You guys are probably like, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. All right. I think, I know that sounds weird, but I think I'm going to use pumpkin. Just to add a little more of that orange in the mix. Again, haven't used this for a little while. Make sure it stamps well. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. And up at the top. That was it. That's what I needed. I needed something. Okay, I'll show it to you close up. Let me put this away before I lose it, because I will. That's just how it is. The other one on this one that would be really cool, I mean, like, they have just the arrows or just the little lines. These kind of stamp sets, always be on the lookout for them. They don't look like much in the package, but when you're looking for a little something, these are the ones that I'm like, you need several of these. Look, there's little hearts, there's little leaves, there's little, I mean, triangles, there's different arrow shapes. Cool. All right. There's my stamping that I did there. Nothing but blue skies. My not glued together flowers. Okay. And then this page with my stenciling and my blending and my flowers, my weird tab, and trying to get around my camera, and the stamping. I really like how this turned out. This is so cool. You know, these are more, even these colors are not necessarily, I mean, the red, the blue, the yellow, the green, yes, but that pumpkin color throws a little something in here that makes it a little quirky, and that it's not true red, it's rosy, which is more of a bold pink. That's a little different too. So here's the original. Here's my version. I really love how that turned out. Here's the version with the zinnia paper. I like that too. I got a lot of gluing to do. But I definitely have, I mean, honestly, I could put these almost side by side in an album. I'm not sure you'd realize it was the same layout. They look different, these two. So, all right, that's what I have today. Friday, my tentative plan is to be live for a decade. No, but it's going to be longer than normal because I definitely want to at least get one of the layouts done for the workshop, and I'm going to tweak it. So this is how I tweak. This is what I do. It takes me an hour to do tweaking. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, the original is awesome, Stephanie. It's totally beautiful, but I really love it with these papers too. And the only issue I have, I should probably do it next month using the Lake Life paper because it'll look really different using darker, outdoorsy type photos and papers versus this bright summery thing, because we did the same thing. I did the same thing on all three layouts, essentially something bright summery. So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, have a good afternoon.